Hello everybody, Prowl here, and Simon just hit us with some patch notes. I'm actually recording this for a second time. I didn't like how it turned out the first time and I kept getting interrupted. So we're back for a second recording of this, and there is a lot of really cool stuff in these patch notes to go over. Now, I'm not going to read every single line, so I will scroll through this so you can pause if you want to read it, and I'll also leave a link down in the description for you below. But there are some amazing, crazy changes here, some really good quality of life changes, as well as some changes to the map, some gameplay changes, some stability fixes. And at the very end, I'm going to share with you something that Simon shared with me during today's live stream. This is an exclusive screenshot that he sent to me that's about something that is going to be coming to the game fairly soon that you're going to want to see. It's kind of cool and kind of scary at the same time. So the first thing I want to show you here actually has to do with the map. So unfortunately, they're not adding the ability for you to like have your map saved yet. I haven't really heard anything about that, but what they have added in are new map markers. So if I go and I right click here and I click on create map marker, we now have different options here. You have the diamond, the cave, whatever this symbol is, a tent, a chest, and a sword. And you have 6 different colors to choose from to color code them for now. So I could mark, let's say, I wonder if I can see anything on the map. Here's like a ruin here. Let's say this was, or actually here's an even better ruin. So we're going to right click on this, hit map marker. I'm going to add a sword here, make it orange, and I'm going to say skeleton camp 1. And let's say that's what this particular thing was. And then maybe down here is somewhere I like to go farm, I don't know, some material, right? I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put maybe this chest, and I'm going to make it green, and I'm going to name this marble farming. And you'll see there's a little checkbox here, shared with other players. So if you play with other people, if you want them to be able to see your marker, you can check this box and they will be able to see it. If you don't, uncheck the box and they will not be able to see it. So we have 2 markers here now created, and you can see they're on my map. When I face this way, it says marble farming. Over here, it says skeleton camp, which is really cool that this actually shows up on the map, and it gives you the text so you know what it is. Now, there is another thing that is listed here that has been added, but I could not figure out where it is. So I don't know if it like didn't actually make its way in yet, or if I'm just not very smart and I can't find it. But it says that there's new gameplay settings to toggle marker visibility on map and compass, which to me would be great because I'm thinking to my survival world, I have so many markers all over the place. You see these forgotten temple gateways everywhere. You'll see one for spawn. You'll see one for the last bed that you slept in. And there's just a bunch of them all over the place. And it'd be nice to be able to turn them off. So I'm assuming that's what it is. But I've looked through general gameplay video settings, and even for a new control that would open up a new menu, and I could not find anything. And when I go to the map, I don't see any new menu or anything here that I can get to. So if you know how to get to it, let me know down in the comments below. But as far as I can tell, it's not actually here for us to test yet, but it's really awesome that it's coming to the game. Also, it did say that it updated map marker icons and improved their display resolution. I do feel like they were a little blocky before, so now you should not have that issue. And I swear I put map markers down in my previous recording, and I don't know if they disappeared or not. So let's actually exit and go back in to make sure that the map markers are still there. And we have reloaded the world. Yes, our map marker is there, and our other one's down here, so that all looks good. Now, some new cosmetics and customizations have been added. I'll show you the ones that I can. We're going to go to my avatar here. And the first thing we're going to go to is the wearables. And I think there's a helmet slot, a hat slot. Yes. There's now a hard hat in the game. And there's something called a tweed hat. I'm going to go up here and type in tweed, and it is right here. So we have a tweed hat and a hard hat now. If you didn't know, by the way, you can type these things in. There is a search bar up here, which is pretty nice. We now have a new overtop, which is a kind of like your coat that you wear over top of your just regular t-shirt. And this one is called the mage shirt. So this is what the mage shirt looks like. And here it is in a couple of different colors. There's also some new shoes. One is called styled flats. That is these shoes right here. Again, just so you can see them a little bit better, here's a couple of different colors. And the other are called wedge shoes. Here's what they look like. Also, a new haircut was added. It didn't say what it was called, so I really have no clue what it is. There's a lot of haircuts. There's no way for me to really find it without going through each one in the old version and a new version of the game. It also said updated visuals for the morning haircut. I tried to search that. No haircut came up when I searched it. You can see here, typing in morning, nothing comes up. So I'm not quite sure what that is. And it says there are new color variations for fashionable shoes. So you should see more color options for any shoes that are considered fashionable, or is that just the name of a shoe? Yeah, the fashionable shoes, these guys now have some more color options that they didn't have before. Now, there's going to be a few things here in the combat and items section I can't really test well for you, but I'll let you know what they are. There have been some weapon adjustments and fixes. They've adjusted damage value inconsistencies and upgrade differences across some weapon tiers. So you should see a more consistent rise or fall based on the tier in terms of your weapon damage. They've also adjusted the guarding stamina costs that were previously misconfigured for certain drop-only weapons. You don't know what a drop only weapon is. These aren't weapons that you craft. They're weapons that you usually find either in a chest or drop from mobs like the Trorks or the Outlanders. And there's maybe a couple other examples of this too. Skeletons, I think, have their own versions of this as well. So some of those have been properly adjusted too. Now, there was also a change to spears. It does say that all spear types should now consistently stack up to 5 and be throwable. So I'm not really sure if this is a bug or not, but some of them stack up to be more than 5. I don't know if that is intended or not. It feels pretty inconsistent. So I'm not quite sure why some are 30 and some are 5. And while I'm not going to go through and test throwing all of them, you can see here I can throw this, and this bear's running around, and yeah, the throwing of the spears does work. Now, there have been some updates and fixes to the Necromancy Grimoire. So now when you summon the Grimoire, you have the option to randomly get either melee skeleton fighters or ranged skeletal fighters. And the ranged guy is the Blunderbliss guy. Also, they are now more like aggressive towards other mobs and they move faster. And they will not only now attack when you attack something, but they will also attack anything that attacks you. So if I get hit by this guy right here, you'll see that they will start attacking these guys. And again, not only that, but they will attack anything that I attack still as well. So I can just throw some shots out here, and then they will attack all of these guys too. Although it seems like most of them have been killed at this point. Oh, no, they're not. They're right here. We're still good. They still do not pull aggro from other mobs, so that part is not really changed yet. But having some ranged options, having them move faster, and having them attack things that attack you, those are all great changes and moves in the right direction. Now, we do have a few block/texture updates that have come in. And I believe it is in the form of these guys. I'm not quite sure which ones are brand new blocks versus which ones are texture updates, but we have the cracked basalt, which actually, the way it's named, this is ore_iron basalt cracked. This is ore cobalt slate cracked. This is ore adamantite magma cracked, ore thorium mud cracked, and then rock volcanic cracked lava. Now, one good change I can show you has to do with the cobalt ore right here. I have a screenshot of a before and after of the cobalt ore. So this is what the ore currently looks like in game, and this is what the ore looks like in game now. So you'll see it has a lot more lightness to it, kind of like reflections on the ore. And you also have that like cracked texture to it, where in some areas you have the cobalt kind of peering through the ore. So nice update, visually looks pretty good. There were some small audio changes added to the game. The biggest and easiest one for me to display for you here is going to be the iron sword. When I swing it now, not only does it have the swooshing sound, but it has that kind of metallic, like tingy sound to it when you do it. And also that sound has been updated and added to the animal hit sound as well. Now, one really cool addition to the game has to do with how you can move items in and out of chests. So not long ago, they added these shortcut keys where I can, where it is, there we go. Like I can take items in and out just like this, the press of a button, which is really nice. But it doesn't move things from your hotbar, and it's kind of like an all or none type thing. Now, if you hold down the shift button and hold down your left mouse click, you can drag over items and it will automatically move them to and from whatever location. So now you don't have to shift and click every single item. You can now simply drag across them and it'll move them back and forth, which is a very nice change. It should make it kind of easy to quickly decide, hey, I want these items and these guys right here, and then leave the rest. Will make that part of the game a little bit more fluid. Also, they did update the UI for workbenches and how it reads out for the proximity of chests and what it can detect. So I'm going to pull that up and read that to you now. When I open it up, you can see here it says workstations can access storage chests within a radius of 14 blocks and up to 16 blocks above or below. I still think it's a little convoluted because when I think radius, I kind of think a full like sphere. But what it is, it's a 14 block horizontal radius and a 6 block vertical radius. And it's still not even a radius, kind of, because it's not a spherical shape. It's actually a cube or cuboid. People get on me when I say the wrong word. Also, it does say up to 100 chests may be linked to one station. So that sounds also a little confusing, I think, to people as well. The chests aren't really linking to the station. It's more like up to 100 chests may be seen by the station, because if I have two stations here, they can see the same chests. So the linking word, I feel like, is a little confusing. And it also, in case you didn't know this, there is a 100 chest limit to how many chests the station can see, and double chests count as a single chest. So this counts as one chest. This also counts as one chest. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, Simon stopped by my stream earlier today. I actually had a minor freak out because my world got corrupted live while we were streaming. And I did know to do the backup, but my most recent backup wouldn't open. So I asked Simon, I was kind of scared to touch anything just in case I would mess something up. So Simon actually hopped into my stream and he had me give him a copy of the world so they can investigate and see what's going on. They like to dissect these things so they can kind of prevent future problems from happening to people. But I did access one of my previous world backups and I only lost 30 minutes of progression. So it wasn't a big deal. But what was a big deal was Simon offered to show me an exclusive screenshot. So he did DM this to me, and it is a wildfire. And he actually gave me a little quote with this. He said, coming to a farm near you. Now, I was working on my farm in stream, so it's probably why he said that. But this wildfire looks awesome. And he gave us a little context around this. This will actually only be coming to creative mode at first and for a while. He wants to see what modders do with it and have people play around with it. And I guess especially when you're messing with something like fire, you want to make sure that it is very well polished before you bring it to exploration mode, because one little mess up could really drastically alter and destroy somebody's world. Also, I'm assuming that they'll probably have like a fire spread on off option like most games with fire spreading do have, so you could disable it if you want to. But it looks really cool. Definitely something that I can't wait to see in game, and also see what people do with this in their mods and creative builds and things like that to really showcase it. Lastly, since I brought it up, I thought it would be good to show you guys. I may do a separate like short on this, but we're just going to bury it here at the end of the video as well. I mentioned world backups a moment ago. Your world is constantly making backups. If you go to worlds and you right click on your world and you go to open folder, inside of this folder, this is your worlds folder, there is a folder called backup. And this is where all of your backups are saved in 30-minute increments. So you can try to get into a backup, you can unzip it, and when you do unzip it, it's going to give you a few files. It's going to give you everything that you see inside of this universe folder right here. Now, I believe the worlds folder is the only thing that's probably really important, but I would probably just copy everything. But if you ever have the instance of world corruption, my recommendation to you is to copy out whatever is inside of your universe folder that's corrupted, and just store that somewhere, at least for the time being. That way you have it. Then you could delete what's inside of this universe folder. Go to your backup, go to your most recent backup or most recent working backup, unzip it, and then move those files into the universe folder, and then your world is backed up. Somebody in chat today actually gave Simon a recommendation, and he seemed to like it a lot, and he's probably going to do it at some point. They may in the future add a button somewhere here on this screen to actually to actually use one of those backups to restore from a backup in your world. So just keep a lookout for that. I wouldn't expect it soon, but definitely something that he seemed interested in and he might add in. So good moment for a self plug here. Come hang out and stream. Some of the devs do stop by stream at times, not super often, but they do come in and talk with me and talk with chat. So it's a good time to see what's going on with the developers, get to ask a few questions, and chat gets to kind of go back and forth with them, which is always really fun. If you enjoyed today's video, please click the like button on it. It lets YouTube know that you guys like the video. Apparently, you've been doing that a lot. The videos have been doing really good. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to make sure you see more videos, click the subscribe button. Like 15% of you guys are subscribed, so it does help out the channel a lot when a lot of new people subscribe. So I appreciate it if you do that. Also, that'll make sure you get notifications when I go live. I do go live on YouTube and Twitch at Prow8413, so make sure you follow me there. As we are getting really close to partner, your follows mean a lot and will help me get to partner on Twitch. And make sure you use code PROW8413 anywhere that you can. So if you're buying Hytale, if a friend is buying Hytale, if you're purchasing something inside of Hytale, or you're purchasing something inside of a server that you're playing on, use code PROW8413, and that will help support my Hytale content going forward. I thank you guys so very much for watching today, and I hope you have a great one. For now, it's time for me to hightail it out of here, and I'll see you later in Orbis. Goodbye.